Afternoon. Afternoon, everybody. Hope you are all well. Kat, how are you doing? Hope you're good. Ravi, welcome. I'm Rib. How you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Well, I'm okay. I'm struggling a little bit. My patience is going with this Euro Swiss, but what can you do? The nicotine withdrawal is still kicking in, but hey, I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. So, thanks everybody for liking the stream before I get on. The legends, I appreciate that. I got a request to do gold first by Ravi, so I'll go into gold right now. I don't know which direction you're looking, Ravi. Let me know which direction you are looking for gold. But, you know, yesterday we did say, because of this bar, there was a little bit of a question mark over that continuation in gold. Now, just because it's pushing on right now, it doesn't mean that this is going to completely reject and come back up. It could be retesting roughly around this area before continuation to the downside. However, you know, this daily chart, not a massively great bar here for continuation in gold to the upside, but it seems to be quite resilient. You know, this is certainly a bearish bar and it's coming on a little bit of volume from this movement to the upside. So it's kind of a difficult one to predict, if I'm being honest with gold. We could be rejecting this movement to the downside. It could be, you know, simple gold volatility and movement back up. Absolutely. This pullback does actually look, considering the last hour, looks quite strong. You know, it kind of, unless this changes, for me, making it into a possible ABC continuation to the downside, it actually doesn't look too bad for upward movement. You know, so even though it doesn't look great here, it doesn't look great on the daily right now, it might not be too bad for upward movement. But wait for a bit more confirmation, because sometimes gold, in terms of trend continuation and trend theory, likes a bit of a deeper pullback, usually around that 61, sometimes a little bit deeper, which I presume is somewhere up here. So yeah, you could get in 4 hours, because those are powerful time frames, but it looks a little bit bullish here in the smaller time frames. So depending on what your stance is, my stance would be, would I be buying gold right now? No. Would I be waiting for a deeper pullback as a better entry? Absolutely, I would. You know, don't discount this failing, you know, and coming back for continuation to the upside. So yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one to predict. The bias has to be long. The trend is up. When gold has momentum, it can go. But I don't think it would be the best entry now, to be honest with you. I think I would be waiting, just because I'd be a bit worried about what's happening on that 4 hour and daily. But yeah, there's no doubt the pullback looks a little bit strong. So might not be a bad intraday long on gold. Closed above this 200 here. Just wait for that added momentum to see where it's going. In my opinion. Mohammed. Test. Test. Hello. Yeah. Nope. Is that it? Back? Okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I think whenever I can't touch the microphone, because some reason if I touch it, it goes off. I don't know why. Anyway, okay. Sorry for that. So yes, I like the idea of pound USD short. I'm thinking short myself. We failed to break through this area. If this 4 hour closes, kind of like it is, then it might not look too bad for a continuation to the downside. Pound USD. You're kind of in this from here. Your bias has to be down. So if this closes, like I said, as it is, yeah, I would agree with that bias. You know, there's no doubt that the pound can have a little bit of momentum, so I would give yourself a little bit of room to breathe because of that, and because of that slight, not extension, but potential catch up here on that daily chart, because it's moved quite well. So normally you find pairs do pull back, you know, roughly around that 20, and maybe it doesn't have to happen, but maybe you're getting that. Now, yesterday, this was a good bearish day. Look at that. Very simple candlestick pattern on a little bit of volume at that previous support, potentially becoming new resistance. So sometimes with these bars, you do get pullbacks within them before moving to the downside, but it just might not be ready yet. That's the only thing I would worry about pound USD. You know, you got a decent, actually, a bar here, a bullish bar, potentially. It could move a little bit more. So I would understand both sides of the coin. I would understand longing it, and I would understand shorting it. I think I would rather be on a short bias, but I wouldn't be doing it just yet. Certainly with where the DXY is. The DXY may be in line for a certain pullback, but my bias would be to the downside on pound USD. I just don't see an entry yet. Unless that completely rejects, then I would understand it, but I just don't see a massive entry on that pound USD just yet, in my opinion. Hi, Shalinda. Hope you're well, mate. Okay, let's go into the dollar since I'm here. And this is why I'm saying watch out for this dollar, because we have been in a decent move, and maybe here is the possible part where, you know, maybe you're taking some profits, maybe it's pullback time because of this particular bar. So that's why I would worry a little bit about this dollar or buying the dollar right now. If this decides to continue with that trend, then yeah, but because we've had this bar and now this bearish bar, maybe we could be in for that slight pullback in the dollar before continuation to the upside. So I would just be a little bit wary. You know, certainly if this daily closes as it is, this could be the top of this move, you know, a naked FOREX trade, I mean, potentially, for pullback continuation. So we have to remember that the dollar has come from a decent way. And I would be looking at that DXY for potential dollar entries, just saying, well, maybe right now isn't the right time, personally. But the trend's been up, so, you know, on these smaller time frames, it could be just a pullback back to that 20 continuation, or you could get a deeper one like this. Just have to watch it and wait for that reason to enter. You don't have a reason to buy the dollar right now. You've got a reason to potentially sell it intraday, but you don't have a reason to buy it for trend continuation just yet. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm good, I appreciate that. Okay, I'll go into the trade that I am in before I go into my watch list, because there's a few things I do like today. This Euro Swiss has been a little bit of a nightmare, to be honest with you. It's done really nothing since I sold it. You know, I had a decent breakthrough, had a nice retest, had a decent bearish bar here, and then we got this over Asia, which, you know, ended up being a bullish hammer. It didn't come on news or anything. I didn't see any news coming out on it. And yeah, it's just not going either way. You know, we pushed up, we came back down. We're in this kind of channel, which is breaking out of. So my mind is saying this looks a little bit more bullish than it does bearish at the moment, because we're failing to move to the downside. However, we're also failing to move to the upside. You know, we're getting a potentially hammer bar here on the hourly, which again would dictate maybe movement to the downside. But yeah, there's some Euro news coming out today as well. I think there's CPI out in about an hour. Maybe that'll move the market. But one thing I always say, that even though this potentially does look bullish here, anything that I do now will be psychologically driven. So I can't touch it. You know, if I touch it now and it moves up a little bit and then it comes back down, I'll be like, well, shit, why did I do that? You know, my stats say this, and I'm just going to keep it and sit on my bum and focus on the next trade rather than looking at this every 30 minutes. There's really no point, because I can't do anything about it. Yeah, the weekly's on a downtrend. The only issue is it's at a decent level here, which may be causing this. But, I mean, the daily looks good. The 4 hour looks great. Yeah, let's just see what it does. You know, let's see what it does. Like I said, I'm only looking to here. That's TP1. I like this retest. It's just typical of these kind of euro pairs. Sometimes they can be a little bit of a tease or a flirt, let's say. But yeah, like I said, I can't do anything about it. It's in. I'll focus on the next one. And what I do like today is this CAD yen. So this looks really good. If we go through every time frame from this latest impulse, right, nice pullback. ABC, complex corrective, channel, whatever you want to call it. But certainly for me, considering this latest impulse, it's digested. And we're kind of breaking out of it now, tagging that 20 period. So this is great. I like this. We look at the 4 hour. Above those moving averages. 20 period is close by, breaking through this downtrend anchor now. So breaking through this area. Decent, not a breakout structure, but a nice structure nonetheless for our higher time frame confluence. And the setup is coming potentially on this hour or 30-minute chart. So this is great. Cut with Ando, very simple ABC, push through. Looks to be we're in a steady state retest. If we come back to this area to give me a catalyst on high volume to go long, 100% I take that to the upside. Makes sense. Selling the yen makes sense right now with where the SPX is. SPX is looking pretty good. Yeah, for me, this is really nice. This is a trade I want to be involved in. And just with where it is, it's one of those trades that because we've had that decent corrective from this move, could be ready to move now. Because it's quite extensive and it's certainly digested. So yeah, I like CAD yen to the upside. And I just hope we get that retest to move it to the upside. Another one I was looking at was pound CAD, but I believe that is gone. Pound CAD, I think it's moved to the downside, yeah. This was a nice context as well, or a nice setup on this 1 hour. Bigger V reversal, and then that's squeeze into the area, squeeze in. And was looking for a breakout retest, but it did try to move up, completely faked out, or, you know, it's massive hammer bar, and it looks a little bit more bearish now for that potential trend continuation on this 4 hour and daily chart. So yeah, pound CAD has got to go off the list, but CAD yen is something that I want to get involved in. 225 is still looking good, this JP225. Good on the daily. Okay, going with that trend. You can see the V reversal here on the daily. So that's good. 4 hour V reversal, looking for, and we might be getting it, something like this to go long on that 225. I always like the idea of buying indexes because indexes traditionally obviously are long. And yeah, 225, I like that as well. 225, I like that. And the final one is WTI. I think I'm going quite quickly through this stream for some reason, not sure why. I'm on long that, but it's just annoying. On which one? On the 225, Zahari? You're long on? Let me know. So oil is another one that I do like in terms of a breakout. I was looking at this yesterday. I think somebody brought it to my attention, but I saw it today. Big V reversal, nice reload, digesting that move. Okay, so this is good. This price action going into it's nice. It's not too climactic or extended. So I want the same thing as a 225, something like this to move to the downside. The reason why I like it is counter trend, but with this pullback, what you'd expect from here, if we consider this, let's say an ABC, is for this to continue on. So this didn't continue, and we got this particular bar at B wave. So it's failed here at B wave. So for me, in terms of confluence with that counter trend, I've got it because of that rejection of B wave and potentially movement to the downside. So this is something I do like. This could continue with this trend and move on, and that's fine. I don't have to trade it, obviously. But if it does give me this, or even just a bit of accumulation here, because the 20 is quite close by, to move down, excuse me, then yeah, I would like that as well. WTI is nice. You're long, so you're talking 225, sorry. So you're long already. Yeah, I mean, I like it long. As long as your stop is decent. If you've got a decent stop, this doesn't, just because I want this, it doesn't mean I'm going to get it. It could certainly, from this bar, move up. You could even consider this, maybe this, before movement to the upside. But for me to get involved in it, it needs something bigger. But I like the bias. You know, I certainly like the bias. I like where it is. You know, it's gone out the realms of this, really, to a trend change. So this is okay. V reversal, digesting this movement to the upside. It's on break even. Where's your stop? Where's your stop here? Just so I can kind of get aware. I know you'd probably be a little bit worried because of this, right? But like I said, it doesn't mean that it has to move to the downside. So let me know your stop, and I'll look at it in a second. 305.17. 305.17. No, your stop. Oh, you're shorting it. 305.17 is above here. That can't be your stop. Are you looking for it to move to the downside? I thought you were long. Ah, okay, yeah. 229.641. 22. That can't be right either. 296. Okay, I've got you. So it's quite a okay, so you're looking smaller time frames, right? So you're looking on the smaller time frames here. Oof. I wouldn't be massively confident about that, mate, to be honest with you. It looks, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but that certainly looks a little bit bearish, no? Certainly if it breaks through, but you do have the 200 there. 229.641. 229.641. I mean, yeah, maybe. I just, if I was in that trade, I wouldn't be massively confident. No offense, mate. It just looks a little bit bearish intraday. But 4-hour daily perspective looks a lot better. Yeah, that's all I'll say, mate. But if it fits your strategy, it doesn't matter what I said. It doesn't matter what I say. As long as it fits your strategy, you have your edge. You know, it doesn't matter. It's only one trade in many. Remember, like this Euro Swiss, it's only one trade in many. Ryan, US 30, please. US 30. Okay. I'll do the SPX first because I've got a potential setup in this SPX. Maybe if this does this, going with that trend, we've got our nice basing structure here. So if we get something like this for movement to the upside, I would look at taking the SPX long, considering where we are. If we get a few bars here, consolidation, 20-period catch-up, kind of digesting this latest impulse. That for me would be quite nice. The US 30 looks slightly different though. So the US 30 looks a bit more bearish than the SPX does. It looks like that complex in the US 30 could be playing out because of these two daily bars here. So yeah, my bias for the US 30 would be maybe something like this. But if the SPX decides to push on, you know, we're kind of getting conflicting messages between the two. And very similar to the 225, this on intraday timeframes looks a little bit bearish. You know, there's no doubt about that. So here, and certainly what we're doing right now, if you're breaking out of this, looks quite, sorry, my screen keeps moving, looks pretty bearish. So longer term, it may be a decent opportunity to buy it here, but I think shorter term, it looks a little bit bearish for me on the US 30. Just code in GBPUSD, pound Aussie. Pound Aussie. Actually, Fonny in the RTFX group asked me about pound Aussie this morning. Pound Aussie is in a nice place because this for me now, it would have to have continued here for me to think about continuing on this trend. Now, the fact that we've had this volatility contraction, right, and we're breaking through now on this particular day, if I zoom in, on this particular day, this shifts your sentiment. So for me, pound Aussie, I would be looking long. But in saying that, the 4-hour, if you're not long now, I wouldn't be going long now. You know, I'd rather wait for a better entry, but it has broken structure here. And it does look long. This is a good move from the pound from yesterday, obviously from that fundamental news. So if you're in it, yeah, lock in some profits because we know the pound can be volatile. But if you're not in it, I would be waiting for a potential better entry. You know, intraday, you could get some nice scalping opportunities, you know, going with that trend potentially. I mean, actually there. That's actually not bad there. Look at that. Pound Aussie is a potential scalp. Nice squeeze into the area. That's actually not bad. Look at the 15-minute. Be reverse on the 15-minute. Going with the trend. That's actually a little, not a bad little scalp. I'm not taking it, but just in terms of a chart pattern or context, if I hadn't told you this was a 5-minute chart, you wouldn't know, right? This is important with scalping. So I do the same things on the smaller time frames. I don't scalp all the time. Sometimes when I feel like it, I do. But you wouldn't have known. And this is potentially a decent setup for that. With your squeeze, you've kind of got your structure here. Squeeze into the area. Hugging that 20. Look at that simple 20. Just hugging it. Look here. Simple 20. Moving up. Push through. Decent bit of volume. Not saying that's going to work, but it's actually not too bad. Sorry, pound Aussie. I'll go into the properly. So yeah, I mean, I'll be looking for maybe shorter term opportunities, but from a swing trading perspective or a longer term perspective, I would be waiting for a pullback on that 4 hour because you just got to accept that if you've not been in it, you know, somewhere around here or down here, you know, you've kind of missed the boat, I would say. Kind of missed the boat. But it has crossed over the 200. You know, but yeah, I mean, I think long is better, but not right now. No worries, mate. No worries, Taban. Hey, John, how you doing, bud? Good morning. I've been in GJ taking profit and back in with what looks like an ABC going on. ABC, GJ. ABC. You're probably looking smaller time frames, right? Let me look at smaller time frames, I guess. Oh, I'm doing some scalping today. I'll have a look at the scalping charts afterwards, actually, since there's nothing much else going on. Yeah, I can see if you're looking there, John. It's not very clean. It's not very clean at all. So yeah, breaks of B wave here would make sense. I don't really like that. There's no massive. Is there a massive catalyst there? I'm getting volume coming in on that push, but yeah, for GJ, for me personally, you need to get a break above here for trend continuation, I would say. GJ there. That would make more sense than buying. But it's good that you've taken profit. Good that you've taken profit, but yeah, I mean, I like the bias. I like the bias. But I would wait for a break of that B wave if you're looking smaller time frames. No worries, Ravi. No worries. No worries, mate. GPNZD looking for a buy. Pound New Zealand looking for a buy. I'll go into my scalping. I'll go into my scalping stuff after this, actually, because maybe I can find something. Looking for a buy. I mean, very similar to GA. Who asked me that? Care. I'm not going to try and pronounce your name. Detri. I wouldn't be doing it now. If you're looking for a buy, you'd be looking for a pullback. So, excuse me. You've kind of got a reaction roughly around here. Again, it's coming from deep. I don't like breaks of level that come from deep like that. So getting in on a pullback, a reason to enter, yeah, makes sense. And you've got your confluence with this. Okay, so you've got your head and shoulders there. Daily again, because of this bar, it's got to shift your sentiment from continuation, which it could still be. It could still be. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. It means I've just lost my train of thought. So yeah, it means that I would be looking potentially more long, but not just yet. Not just yet. Just wait for a pullback and a reason to enter on GN. Hey, FX8, thank you. I appreciate that. Thumbs up. Give me the 25, guys. I appreciate that. Okay, let's have a little look at this scalping. Let's have a bit of fun. See if there's anything here. So I do the exact same thing. I do the exact same thing on my scalping charts as I do on my 4-hour and swing, but I'm not a scalper. I'm quite good at it. I am profitable with it, but I couldn't bring myself to like risk 4 grand on a scalp on a 1 minute chart. It's just not me. That's okay. Here, Euro Yen. Euro Yen 5 minute. Have a look at the 15. A break above would be a break above that 200. Bigger V reversal, obviously rejection from down here. Markets are risk on, although that's not as prevalent on these smaller time frames. But on this 5 minute chart, that would be not bad. Break from there, stop loss here. Looking to get up to these highs as TP1. Yeah, that's not bad. How many pips is that? An 8 pip stop. Let me see this bar. There's volume coming in. Volume coming on this bar. We've tagged that area again. Yeah, I like this. 5 pip stop. Let me see what that is. So I just placed $500 on these things. Just get my position size calculator up. Again, most of the time it's just for a little bit of fun. So 8 pip stop on Euro Yen. If it breaks, remember I'm not buying it yet, only if it breaks. Risk ratio 0.5. 8 pips. Oh, 0.25%. So that's 7.18 for me. 7.18. 7.818 divided by 2, what is that? 3 point something. 3.59 on a break at this level. I'll put my alert in here just so I can see. Stop loss 1.29.93. So if this comes down, I'm just going to automatically take this out, right? So that's it, done now. Unfortunately, all that for nothing. All that for nothing, guys. Apologies for that. Market is doing what it wants to do, but that was nice. That was a nice idea. So I can't marry myself to the idea. If it didn't break through then on this particular bar, I've got to take it off. So Euro Yen is off. I'll just look through these last 2 charts and see if I can see anything, and then I'll look through just coding Aussie Yen. Yeah, no problem. Nothing there. Nothing. Actually, that was okay. That was not bad on pound USD to the downside, if it works. Got your basing, V, accumulation, breakthrough. That was okay. B wave. B wave, so not the lows. A, B, C. That would have been quite nice. On the pound. And finally, Aussie, I missed out. No, nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, sorry, I'll get back to my normal stuff. Aussie Yen. Aussie Yen. You're looking for a buy in Aussie Yen. Yeah, I like the fact that it's broke here. I don't like what it's doing as much now. Okay, you've kind of got, you had a decent bar here. It's getting a reaction off that 200. I would understand buying it on this particular because technically, even though this is technically a breakout retest, even though we've not at the area, we're kind of roughly there. So we've broken the area, we are actually retesting. So I wouldn't mind buying that, but it seems to be getting a slight reaction. This is not great. It's not great. I like where the daily is. You know, I don't mind that as a daily, but you're getting this. There's a lot of conflicting messages. There's a lot of conflicting messages in Aussie Yen. But if we hadn't seen this bar, So if you hadn't seen this bar, obviously we've got the benefit of hindsight right now. So if we hadn't seen that and we were in this, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Nice on the 20, stops under there for movement to the upside on a break of this downtrending anchor would make sense. It's just coming off a little bit now. It's just coming off a little bit now. We could be continuing within this channel. So if you're not in it, I would maybe wait for a better confirmation of a breakthrough, maybe a break above the 200 and breaking close. But it's not giving you that. It's not giving you that follow through, which is sometimes is what is indicative of these kind of markets. So it's not giving you that follow through. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be massively confident in it now. It's just, it's not very. There's not been very nice charts recently, to be honest, and that's another one that is kind of suffering from that lack of follow through. Very similar to what we're getting in Euro Swiss. You know, that lack of follow through in movement to the downside. You know, like this, lack of follow through, and maybe we're in for a few potential reversals. Let's see. But certainly keep an eye on this. This is my main pick for today. This is the one I really like. Okay, so if we get that catalyst here, keep an eye on that, because I think that's the best chart you could possibly trade today out of all of them. Pound CAD I like, Swiss yen. Oh, sorry, Swiss yen as well. Swiss yen here is another one I do like. We're in our retesting phase from this big structure. This is nice. I don't know how I forgot to tell you there, guys, this. So we're getting that 20-period catch-up. We've got that tag of the 200. I'm essentially now, very similar, looking for a reason to enter. So I want a tag on the 20. We're in that corrective phase. Ideally, what we get is, you know, maybe something like this, where the breakthrough or the engulfer closes underneath that 200 on a little bit of volume for movement to the downside. I like that, because if we look at this on the daily, I know we've come from here. Okay, I know that, but we've also broken through this daily anchor. Okay, so technically, you could also look at this, potentially. But technically, it puts a little bit of doubt in your mind about this continuing, because that's not really what we want to see. So with this setup and with this context, if we get that added confirmation of a reason to enter, and this retest is potentially successful, which could happen over, what is it now, 1 o'clock now, maybe over the US session today. If you get that reason to enter in Swiss yen, I like that as well. So Swiss yen and CAD yen are ones I do like. Sorry, and the last one, I don't know why I've missed these. Last one is silver. So silver is still doing what I want it to do. We're still in this on our aggressive entry. If you remember our aggressive entry down here. In terms of our trialing, remember, I'm not in this with real money, but this is good so far. You know, 20 period catching up. We've tagged that 200, kind of similar to Swiss yen. Nice context. Retest, movement to the upside. So I've had this on my list for a while. I'd like to get in on it long. Hopefully it doesn't go without me, but I just need a few more days of a pullback and a proper reason to enter to go long on silver. So I really like them. So yeah, so I keep saying so. CAD yen, Swiss yen, keep an eye on them today. Those are my picks of the bunch. All right, guys, I appreciate you being here. Come on, one more like for 25 likes. Make my Wednesday. I will be back on Friday, where the $50 winner will be announced. I'm not sure who's in the lead right now. I think potentially, I mean, I don't know what it's going to do. It could do anything. So we'll see. Anyway, winner announced on Friday. Sometimes in these markets, maybe sometimes better to keep your powder dry when you're getting mixed messages on different time frames. Yeah, so just protect your capital at all costs is number one. All right, guys, trade safe. Peace.